My name is Katie Maple. For those of you that don't know me, I am the Vice President of GPS USA. I'm super excited to get to tee up this call today. Thank you all so much for being on. I can promise you there is no better way that you could spend a Tuesday evening than right here with us. If you were at the event last week, it was a monumental historical event. We had the privilege of having Miss Cheri on stage. And as I mentioned at the event, people pay her tens of thousands of dollars to give the kind of insight that she is giving to all of us. And she actually volunteered to have this call tonight. So we are incredibly blessed that she sees so much potential in GPS and all of us and all of you, that she wants to continue to pour her expertise into us. And so without further ado, I am thrilled to introduce a multi-million-dollar entrepreneur, best-selling author, and success coach, Miss Cheri.
Woohoo! Awesome. Thank you, Katie. Hello, everyone. I want to also say aloha because there's so many of you guys that are from Hawaii too, but no matter where you're from, I just want to welcome you each. Listen, we're going to have some fun tonight. We're going to do some training. And before I even jump in, I want you to get familiar with your reaction button. Down at the bottom, you have a button called reactions. I want you to give me a thumbs up if you're excited for this training and ready to go. Give me a thumbs up on your screen, on your reaction button. Perfect. You guys are awesome, right? They even have little like shaka ones that you guys can do. Perfect. Very cool. Thank you, Katie. Thank you for the introduction. I'm so excited to be here. Now, one more question. On your reaction button, I want you to put, and there should be, I thought there was a yes or a no. Put a thumbs up if you were at the conference in Las Vegas. Put a thumbs up if you were there in person in Las Vegas. Awesome. A lot of you. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thank you. And if you were not in Las Vegas, I want you to give me, what should I have you give me? What's a normal reaction button there? Give me like a heart if you weren't there and your heart hurts because you weren't there. That's what we'll do. Put a little heart up if you weren't there. If you weren't there. All right. I'm only seeing a few broken hearts. Good. I'm happy that the majority of you happen to be there. Okay. Thank you guys for playing along. We're going to have some fun. Okay. Let me give you a quick little overview of what to expect from tonight's training. And Tommy Lee, I see you. Hi, buddy. Aloha, brother. I'm here as a result of Tommy Lee introducing this methodology called B.A.N.K to the company. And we did that because we believe that we can absolutely help you guys and partner with you guys to create massive success. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an overview of what I taught in Vegas, which means for some of you, it's going to be a repeat. But what I learned from my mentors is you want to repeat until rich. So give me a thumbs up if you're willing to hear some of the same stuff again, so it sinks in and you actually start to make a lot more money. Give me a thumbs up on your screen. You're like, I'm in. Okay. So that's one thing. If you missed it, you're going to hear it for the first time. If this is a repeat, you're going to hear it again. And then in the second half, I'm actually going to do a tech demo, and I'm going to show you guys some technology that's going to blow your mind. I'm going to show you how to crack people's bank codes and know what those are in literally nanoseconds by using some of our technology. I'm going to show you how to use it to generate leads so that you always have someone to talk to. I'm going to show you how to use it to be able to know how to close sales so that you're selling your GPS products, your VRLU subscriptions, your glasses, all of it. I'm also going to show you it so that you know how to recruit people. Okay, give me a thumbs up if you guys want to not only make more sales, but you want to recruit more people. Put a thumbs up on your screen. You want to build bigger teams and make a lot more money. Yes. Perfect. Awesome. Okay, great. So when I start to share my screen, I'm going to talk to you. And I'm going to ask that you guys participate with me. I'm going to have you writing stuff into the chat box. This is going to be more interactive than when I was in Vegas, because there it was pretty much lecture format style. Here, I'm actually going to have a conversation with you. I'm going to ask that you participate. And if you have questions, I'm going to answer them at the end. We've carved out 90 minutes. It's 6 p.m. in Southern California. You can adjust for your time zone. I've built 90 minutes so that I can take you through the information. I'm going to show you the technology, I'm going to answer your questions. And then what we're going to do is we're going to invite you to participate in the pilot program. Now, why this is so important is we've partnered with GPS. We're partners with you guys. Okay. That means like we're one of you. And what that also means is that we are piloting this program to see whether or not we're actually going to turn it into a product where you guys get commissions in the future by being able to share this with other people. So thumbs up. Actually, I want you to, let's do better than thumbs up. I want you to click on the reaction button and go find the money bag. I'm going to show you how to do it because that's fun. So click on the reaction button and then click on like where the light bulb is. Click on where the little light bulb is at the top and it should pull up a little money bag. I'm going to put one on my thing. I want you to put the little money bag up there if you are open to making a lot more money and potentially having this be one of your awesome products here at GPS. Now we're going to have to mute you guys for those of you that have little kids in the background. And guess what? Here's mine. I have a little 1-year-old baby. This is baby Kai Keanu. Told you I got some Hawaiian in me. Kai Keanu, which is Hawaiian for ocean breeze. And that's the name of our son right here. Cool little dude. I was married in Hawaii and there's my little Hawaiian boy. So I got you. All right. So we're going to jump into this. Hey, Diney Bay, I see you here, man. Is that really you or is that an impersonator? It's you. Are you able to come off mute, Danny, and come out here and say a few words? This is your
Yeah, I'm here. Thank you for doing this, Cheri.
You're welcome, Danny. Come out here, Danny, just for a few minutes. Come on, you're awesome. You're the amazing leader, visionary. My team, our company, we were so on fire seeing you speaking in Las Vegas, sharing your vision. Guys, we teach a lot of network marketing companies, and this is by far, you guys became our favorite literally in that weekend, and you have the most amazing leader on the planet. So many leaders we meet are filled with massive egos and even arrogance. And Danny's like one of the most amazing, humble, loving, kind, emotionally intelligent humans we've ever met. And so we're honored to be partnered with you, Danny. Maybe come on out here for a few minutes and address your tribe before we jump in.
Well, first of all, thank you very much, Cheri, for doing this. I've been on since the beginning. I just was on under the GPS HQ account. And I think today is your anniversary too. So congratulations, and also making time. Thank you for making time to spend the evening with us on your anniversary. I know many people were in Vegas. Some people couldn't travel, for different reasons. I could tell you that what Cheri and her team and the whole bank code system is going to allow all of us to really learn and participate in. It's priceless. Just think about it like this. Just think about when you fast forward success, 2, 5, 10, 20 years down the road, and you're absolutely living your dreams and you're crushing it. And that there are going to be, during your journey, there are going to be some information, knowledge, system. There are going to be some ideas, techniques, or technology, like what Bank Code offers, that that without it, that the results of your business would have been different. And when you look back 2, 5, 10, 20 years down the road, after earning millions, if not tens of millions, maybe even more, in the compensation and building your own $1 million company or $1 billion company within the company, many will look back and go, hey, you know what, man, now knowing what I know, achieving what I have achieved, how much would I have paid? Matter of fact, if turn it around, like if you would look back and go, hey, without that, I wouldn't have made it. But if somebody came up to you and say, hey, how much would you sell your success for? You know, would you, when you're a multimillionaire, would you sell your success away for $10,000? If somebody said, "Hey, let me take you, let's switch lifestyle for 10 grand," and you're already a multimillionaire, would you? Of course not. Like if somebody said, "Hey, I'll give you 100 grand, let's switch it," would you switch it? You know, when you're a multimillionaire, of course not, right? Hey, just, you know, or amount of time, like, you know, of course not. Like there's no money or time that would be valuable enough for you to trade the success that you will create with an opportunity like our program, and having the training and backing and technology and a leadership like we're getting from Cheri. So, you know, when I say it's priceless, the 90 minutes we're going to spend together, when I say it's priceless, you know, for whatever the technology costs, you know, could be during the journey, I could just tell you right now that it is priceless. It is, you would pay 100 times more. You would spend 100 times more time getting the info, getting the technology, being part of it, and taking advantage of it. If you could just fast forward 2, 5, 10 years from now and look back from the position of being successful. So I am just so grateful for this. A friend of mine has a company. They had a convention last weekend in Vegas. You know, obviously the people weren't as beautiful and great as our people, and the excitement weren't as high and powerful as our event, but you know, it was also a great event, a friend of mine's company. So I stopped by for a minute, but I could tell you it was great training event. And but there, just one event in Las Vegas was $500. And there was just, you know, and there was a lot of people there. There were a lot of people there. Obviously a lot of great value there, but I know for a fact, practical help for you to increase sales over 300% and increase the effort and increase the activity, increase the results, increase your income, grow your business, and all those things in the next 30, 60, 90, 120 days as we go into 2022. I know for a fact that what Cheri is going to give you today and during this whole pilot program, as she starts this very special mentorship program, is going to be worth 1,000 times more. So thank you once again, Cheri. I'm so excited that you're doing this with us. I wouldn't miss it for the world. I'm here, and I know many of the leaders are here, and we are very grateful for you training us and leading us. So thank you very much, Cheri.
Well, you're welcome, Danny. Thank you. I appreciate you being here. And you guys, let's give Danny some love. Put your little heart reaction button up there. That's how you use these things during these meetings. And you give your leader some love, because he gives everything back to you guys. So does Katie. I know that firsthand. And that's what happens with events and your leadership team. And so I'm honored to be able to be here too. Thank you for the anniversary wishes. This is 8 years ago today. I met my beautiful wife at a conference where I was speaking in Amsterdam in front of 5,000 people with Robert Kiyosaki, with Les Brown, with Tony Robbins. And there I was on stage, and I had a chance to be able to meet her backstage, off stage, and that was the beginning. So we're very honored to be here. Listen, what I'm about to share with you has the power to transform your entire life. Okay. Whether you've done network marketing before and you've been doing it for more than 10 years, or whether you're just getting started and GPS is your first shot at financial independence, I'm going to show you something here on camera. If you're watching the video, this right here is the ring that I earned in network marketing when I was earning more than $1 million a year in commissions. Okay. Not $1 million of volume, but $1 million of commissions. I was someone who really struggled my first year in network marketing. You're going to hear my story. I made $700, and I didn't know if I could ever make over $100,000 a year. And I went to my very first event, and I sat in the nosebleed section, and I watched people walk across stage that were making 100,000 and 200,000 and 300,000, and then they got up to the millions. And I watched people walking across stage making $1 million a year, and then 2 million and 3 million. And the year I was there, they were giving the guy, the first guy to crack $4 million a year. And my jaw dropped, and my heart started beating out of my chest. And I knew in that moment, like, I knew this was going to be my path. And I knew, you know, that it was possible. And I just wanted to find the shortest path to getting there. Okay. So what I'm going to share with you has the chance to help shorten the learning curve to get you to that $100,000, $250,000, $500,000, or $1 million mark in the shortest period of time possible. And the way that I was able to do that was with this crazy idea called B.A.N.K. And that's what I'm going to take you into. Okay. I have since made tens of millions of dollars, and I built a company. I left network marketing and I went and built a company so that I could help even more people. And that's why I'm here today. Is I built the company, I built the training, the tools, and the technology so that I could help a lot more people have that shot. Because I met so many good people, people that looked exactly like you, who gave it everything they had and still didn't win financially. And I don't ever want that to happen to you, because it was happening for me too. You're good people, you deserve great success, okay? And that's why I want to share with you the strategies that can help you. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in. I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to put it into presentation mode. Okay. Like I said, I got a lot I'm going to take you through. And here, this picture of me up on stage, you know, I get a chance to speak all over the world is an honor, because it's not where I started, but it's where I got to because of this. Okay. So I'm going to start off again. I'm going to remind you, if you're hearing this for the second time, good, absorb this. A study was done and they wanted to know, hey, does personality types matter in the sales process? Because in GPS, you're selling products and you're selling opportunity to come join your business. And what they said is that only 18% of buyers will buy from a salesperson, that's you, who does not match the buyer's personality type, versus 82% success rate when personality types are aligned. This is black and white, so obvious to me. When I read this, I thought, oh my gosh, I don't ever want to talk to anybody about my products or opportunity again unless I can match their personality type. And that's where this idea was born. So I wrote the book called Why They Buy, and I built the B.A.N.K methodology, which is designed to crack someone's personality code in a way that let me know exactly what their personality type was. And I trained myself exactly how to match that personality type when I was talking to them, so that I got the yes outcome in the shortest period of time possible. So I'm going to unlock the secrets, the science, and the system that can supercharge your sales up to 300%. Then I'm going to introduce to you the solution that we're going to bring to you at GPS. And again, this first wave of people are going to be the pilot program. You guys are going to get access to it for a price that's much lower than it normally is. And that's the opportunity to be part of the first ones. Our company, Codebreaker Technologies, we crack codes, we break codes, personality codes. We're the world leader in personality coding technology. So this is not your average personality type test of what color are you, or what animal are you, or are you a dolphin, a whale, a sea urchin, etc. This is actually designed to help you close more sales and make more money. Our mission, though, is way bigger than money, and that is to actually connect and empower humanity. This is something that's very important to us. This is why we really resonate with Danny and his entire philosophy. Danny is a good guy. And actually, there's not that many of them out there, we found. There's a lot of people who are for profit, but there's not so many who are for purpose at the same time. And as much as we live in a world connected by technology, we've never been more disconnected as a part of humanity. And so we want to bring the human back to humanity. And B.A.N.K is actually one of those ways to do that. So B.A.N.K is personality based. B.A.N.K is people-centered, B.A.N.K is profit-driven, and B.A.N.K is also profit-focused and purpose-driven. So we're all about helping people make more money, but we're about helping good people make more money, because good people do good things with money, and that's important to us. But in order to do good things with money, you actually have to make money. And so I want to unlock the secret to ultra high performance. I want to unlock the secret of what makes someone make hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars versus the person that was like me, that really struggled and couldn't seem to make hardly anything at all. And there definitely is a secret that I'm going to reveal to you. So everything I'm going to teach you today is just the beginning of our relationship. Is designed to help you triple your closing rate, triple your recruiting rate. Imagine if you could compound that, not just across yourself and your own actions, but imagine if you could do that across everyone in your entire organization. You might only have a team of 2 or 3 people. You might have a team of 20 or 30 people. You might have a team of 200 or 300 people. Imagine when momentum kicks in. So I want you to type into the chat box. I told you this is going to be interactive. I want you to type 300% in the chat box. If you want to triple all of your results from this moment forward, type it in the chat box, 300%. Okay, 300%. And that's just where we're going to get started here. So Robert Kiyosaki, he gives a clue. The author of Rich Dad Poor Dad, highly recommend you read that book. The ability to sell is the #1 skill in business. And unfortunately, most people hate sales. Most people say, I don't want to sell anything. I just want to share the product, share the opportunity. But friends, selling is the #1 skill in business. Yet 85% of people joining network marketing have no business background and no sales background at all. What does that mean? It means you're recruiting really good people with zero experience, little to none, on how to actually run a business or build a business. So what I wanted to do when I was doing this was turn myself into a business owner, an entrepreneur, and then be able to train that to my teams. And that's what your leadership is doing. I want to help you make the word sales something that you love instead of hate. And so if sales has been a dirty word, replace it with the word influence. Ask yourself if you want to be more influential, if you want to help more people and do more good in the world. And one of the best ways to do that is to ask yourself, do you feel when you bring GPS products to a family's life, are you making their life better or worse? If you can say better, then the only failure is the failure to close the sale. If you truly believe that the products make them better and the opportunity makes them better, then you want to get yeses instead of nos. And unfortunately, that's where most people struggle. And that's why they've developed a relationship where they actually don't enjoy selling hardly anything at all. And so what's happened is we've been programmed to fail by being told that sales was a numbers game, by being told that in order to get more yeses, we have to get more nos. And I know you can answer that because we've heard it 1,000 times. And I used to do that program too. You wake up and you go for no. But then I realized that's actually one of the craziest things I've ever heard, because the truth is, in order to get more yeses, you actually have to get more yeses, not more nos. I want you to type the word yes in the chat box and put it in all caps if you really mean it. Type the word yes if you want to get yeses from now on and no more nos. Type the word yes. Right? You only want to get yeses and no more nos. Because what I found is that there's so many people who want to say yes. You just need to figure out what to say to get that yes. And how do you do it? Being authentic and in integrity. Okay. So the secret, remember the secret, and I want you to write this down if you're taking notes, is that sales is not a numbers game. It's a people game. If you play the numbers game, you're playing it to lose, because the numbers are heavily stacked against you. That's why they say go for no, because you're playing against really terrible odds, like in Vegas. If you play the people game and you understand the people game, which is what B.A.N.K taught me, you're going to play to win. You're going to play to get the yes instead of the no. And so this was a game I wanted to win, not lose, because your future is at stake. And that's why I'm so passionate, because most people never make it financially. So when you look at this, this is my real life story. When I started off in network marketing, my first year, I crushed it and I made $700. The only reason I remember how terrible it was because the company had to send me a 1099 because I earned over 600. Like, it was such a pathetic number. And I thought, well, I'm really not doing good. And so for 5 years, I studied everything I could. I became the perfect student like Tommy Lee. And I started studying everything I could get my hands on. I read books. I listened to audio programs. I hired coaches. I attended all the Super Saturdays and the company conventions, everything. And I got my income up to 72,000. And the company said, you're doing a great job. And they gave me a really nice rank. Imagine if you had the rank of influencer 5,000 or influencer 10,000 or influencer 25,000. Imagine that. I had a really nice rank. but I was $30,000 in credit card debt, was renting an apartment, couldn't qualify for a home. And I was driving a broken salvage title BMW, playing the fake it till you make it game. And I thought, my gosh, I feel so out of integrity. I'm supposed to be selling the dream, and I feel like I'm living a nightmare. And again, I don't know if any of you can relate, but that was my story. And I heard this other quote from Robert Kiyosaki, and he said, stop taking advice from people more messed up than you. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, I shouldn't even be doing this anymore. This is crazy. Like, what do we got to do to break through? And that's when I discovered that the system was broken. The system was programming people to fail by teaching us that it was a numbers game and to go for no, instead of teaching us how to go for yes and how to play to win. And as soon as I figured out what was broken and how to fix it, everything changed. So overnight, in 1 year, my income jumped from $72,000 to $500,000. So I had a 7x increase. And the best part is I went from working 60 to 80 hours a week doing that hustle and grind, dropping it to 20 to 30 hours a week. So I want you to type in the chat box 7x. If you want to see your income go up 7 times in the next 12 months by using this strategy called B.A.N.K, okay, type 7x into the chat box. And for those of you that are working more than full time, you're like all in all the time. Imagine if you could do it on a third of the time. Imagine if you could do it where you're so part-time and you're making so much more money that you're actually starting to, the first time, live the dream, the real dream of network marketing. And what happened here was, once I had my own testimonial of B.A.N.K works for me, I started to teach this to my entire team and my downline organization. And I started teaching them how to go for yes instead of how to go for no. And what happened as a result, within 3 years, my income was over the $1 million a year mark. I just showed you the ring that I got. And that was directly a result of getting all of my downline trained on B.A.N.K. I got to where I made it non-negotiable. If you're going to be on my team, you are going to get trained in B.A.N.K, period. End of story. And our team loved it. They were raving fans of it, because they actually started to make more money than they ever have before. So you become a hero in network marketing when you can teach people how to win instead of letting them lose. And I know you guys have the hearts to really help people. This was Success from Home magazine. They started to publish. They put me in here, and I joke, I'm not the lady in the red dress. That one's not me. I'm the one in the middle. You can probably recognize me. It's a little bit blurry. It's highlighting my income here at 2.9 million. 33 years old, 2.9 million and climbing. My whole life changed. So when you guys, when they say money doesn't buy you happiness, there's another lie right there. It's such a big fat lie. Money buys you so much happiness because you get to live life on your terms. You get to go where you want to go, do what you want to do, travel anywhere in the world, and never ever worry about what it costs. And that's what money can do. And of course, money isn't everything, but it's certainly a great booster to having the life that you love. Okay. We want to help people make more money so that they don't struggle financially. And as my secret leaked out, the B.A.N.K system, I started getting asked to go speak about B.A.N.K to lots of different companies way outside of my network marketing. And all of a sudden I became one of the top speakers in the world. And I was sharing stages with millionaires and billionaires that you can see here, like Tony Robbins, Susie Orman, Robert and Kim Kiyosaki, Steve Wozniak from Apple, Les Brown, Sir Richard Branson, literally. And matter of fact, I'm one of the top 5 female speakers in the world. And if you want to know 3 of the top 5, it's Oprah. Oprah's one of them. Michelle Obama is one of them. And then I'm one of them. All right. So I just shared with you 2 of the top 5. I mean, totally honored. And that's why when you hear Katie and Danny say we're honored to have Cheri Tree, but guys, I'm honored to have you, because I made a pledge, and I made that pledge between me and God. And I said, God, if you'll show me a way to make $1 million and to become truly financially independent, I will dedicate the rest of my life to teaching that secret to other people and helping them get there too. So it's the concept of each one teach one. And that's why I'm here, because I kept my promise. And I'm so committed to teaching this to other people because I know it can transform your life forever. Okay. So I wrote this book, and we're going to make sure every one of you gets a copy of this book. And I'm going to share with you how to get this book at the end, why they buy. And there was a lot of scientific studies that were done on B.A.N.K. They wanted to see, hey, is this for real? Like, is this legit? And after doing the research and studies, they came back and published that said this is the only methodology in the world scientifically validated by major universities to predict buying behavior in less than 90 seconds. I want you to type the word B.A.N.K in the chat box if you would love to be able to predict buying behavior, predict exactly how to get a yes instead of a no with every prospect you talk to about GPS in less than 90 seconds. Type the word B.A.N.K in the chat box. Type B.A.N.K in the chat box. That's like a no-brainer, okay? And that's what this became. This system became such a no-brainer. Everyone using it was getting yeses, and people not using it were really struggling playing the numbers game. And it was night and day difference what performance was. And I want to explain why it works. It's not magic, okay? It's not hocus pocus. It actually works because it's a science. And the cool thing about science is something that's repeatable, duplicatable, transferable, and scalable, okay? So the science that B.A.N.K is based in is something called personality science. It's an actual science that dates back thousands of years ago to a guy named Hippocrates, who's basically known as the father of medicine, okay? And Hippocrates figured out that he could take the entire human race and divide you guys into 4 different groups. And each group was so different one from another, he could treat you with medicine differently. Just imagine that. And he called that the theory of the 4 temperaments. So he could literally predict medicine based on what your temperament was. And that was a breakthrough, massive discovery 2,500 years ago. Now, when you fast forward to today's modern times, there's been millions and millions of people who have taken different personality assessments because there's been all types of them created because we, the human race, are fascinated with the study of ourselves. We want to know more about us. So some of the more popular ones might be DISC or MBTI, which stands for the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, the color code or true colors, or the Berkman method. There's ones based on what animal you are or what astrology sign you are or what jewel you are. Okay, I've taken a bunch of those and probably you have too. And in the beginning, to be honest, I was fascinated with what I learned about myself. Like, wow, this is really cool stuff. So accurate. But my fascination grew into frustration because not one single one of these assessments ever made me more money. Not one of them ever helped me close more sales or recruit more people to my downline. And I remember feeling so frustrated, like, what's the point of all these personality types? Because it seems like everybody talks about it. Every company I've ever gone to talks about personality types. But no one could ever answer the riddle of so what, now what? I don't care what color you are, what animal you are, what alphabet you are. I want to know, what do I say to you to get a yes instead of a no? Bottom line. And there was never an assessment that was made that could tell me not who I am, but who you were, the other person, my prospect, my potential client, my lead, my new downline team member. And I remember thinking, wow, if it doesn't exist, I'm going to go make my own. So what I did was I reverse engineered the idea of personality science, and I built an assessment not based on who I was, who cares, no one ever asked, but who the other person was sitting right across from me. And this one assessment, because people ask me all the time, is this just like all the other assessments that are out there? And I say, yeah, it's exactly the same, only completely different. Every other assessment that was in the market was based in psychology, whereas B.A.N.K was the first assessment in the world based in what I call biology, spelled B-U-Y-ology, the science of buying behavior. Friends, this was the only assessment in the world that could tell me exactly what makes a person say yes versus no. Yes versus no. So when you ask yourself, of all the personality typing things that you've been exposed to, which one do you actually really care about? For me, it was very obvious. I want this one because it made a night and day difference in my income. It took me from, I can't make 100,000 no matter how hard I work, to suddenly making millions. And I became a raving fan and a massive believer of it, to the point where we now have clients in more than 100 countries around the world. Okay. So how this works is B.A.N.K is designed to teach you how to crack the personality code and take it to the bank. And I'm going to use a little analogy here. This little device on the screen is called a cryptex. Cryptex is a combination of two words: cryptology, which is the science of locking up secret information, and codex, which is the written script or scroll that's locked inside the device. It was made famous in the movie The Da Vinci Code. So you can see this little device right here. In the movie The Da Vinci Code, there was a secret that was locked inside this device. And the secret was the secret to the Holy Grail. Now, there was only one way to find out what is that secret. You had to crack the code. The challenge is this little device was booby-trapped. Think of it like a ticking time bomb, because if you failed to crack the code correctly, you crack a fragile little vial of vinegar. The vinegar would leak out, dissolve the writing on the scroll, leaving you with nothing. And all of a sudden, all of your hopes and dreams just vanish, because I want you to imagine from this point forward that every prospect you talk to about GPS, every time you pick up the phone or send a text message or talk to somebody about GPS, I want you to imagine that they have an invisible cryptex. And I want you to imagine if what was locked inside this device, if you can crack the code and get it to open up, that what was written on that piece of paper was exactly what to say to them to get a yes instead of a no. I want you to type the word yes in the chat box if you absolutely would want to crack that code and figure out exactly what to say to them to get a yes every single time. Yes, sign me up for GPS. Yes, I want to invest in the glasses and the VRLU subscription. Yes, I'm all in. Give me your best product line. Give me everything you got. I'm in. That is the holy grail of network marketing. Okay. So if you crack the code correctly, you're going to get a yes. If you crack it incorrectly, you're going to get a no. So I want you to do a quick little evaluation and ask yourself, are you cracking it to get the yeses, or are you accidentally getting the nos? And what is that costing you when you get a no? Right? I'm going to show you the math in just a moment. So as I'm discovering these philosophies, Tony Robbins said, let your prospect determine your presentation. Friends, what that told me was, I said, wait a minute. If there's 4 different personality types, and that's not up for debate, it's like thousands of years old now. I wonder how many presentations, how many ways I should talk to my customer. And the obvious answer is 4. But yet, how many ways do our companies teach us to deliver the presentation? And they teach us to deliver it one way every single time. And what they say is go repeat, repeat, repeat. Deliver the same presentation over and over and over. And people are going to say yes. People are going to say no. And most people are going to say no. That's why they prepare you emotionally to go for no. Well, I said, that's actually the dumbest thing I've ever heard, because based in science, right? I'm not a rocket scientist, but hello. Based in science, here's the most common mistake that people are making, is that whatever their dominant personality type is, let's say it's the red one, when you go talk to the matching personality type, chances are you're going to get a yes, because you said the exact thing that that person wanted or needed to hear. But what about when you go talk to the other 3 personality types, but you're talking to them the wrong way, and accidentally you break that vial of vinegar and you get a no 3 out of 4 times? See, this is what's happening. If you guys as a company said, forget B.A.N.K, we don't want anything to do with the B.A.N.K, kick the B.A.N.K program out of our company, get rid of them, and you go back to doing it the way you've been doing it, you're playing Russian roulette and you're playing with these odds every single day. And you're wondering why your downline joins and then quits, or why the person never got back to you, or why they went and joined another company instead of you. Like, network marketing is filled with failure all over the place. And I wanted to help people win instead of fail. Okay. My heart was emotionally attached. 1, for my future, 2, for your future. So I wanted to figure out, I don't want to play these odds For every yes I get, I'm getting 3 no's. No, thank you. I wanted to flip these numbers to my favor, and I wanted to have a chance to go for yes 4 out of 4 times. Okay, 4 out of 4. So that's where I was. And if you're sitting here saying me too, we're going to do a little experiment right now. Okay, because I want you to know what it's costing you not to adopt this philosophy. All right, I want you to think of your last year income. If you're brand new to GPS, just think of the money you made last year at your job. Doesn't matter. You can use your GPS income. You can use your job income. Just for an example, think of a number. Okay, whatever that number is. If you made 50,000 last year, your number's 50,000. If you made 100,000, your number's 100,000. Whatever. Now I want you to take that number and triple it. Triple it. Multiply it times 3. Okay.
6,000.
Whatever that number is, multiply it times 3. Whatever that triple number is, if it was 50,000 and you triple it, it's 150,000. Your triple number is the amount of money you potentially lost last year not using this science. Okay, so I just want that to sink in right now. And I want you to type in the chat box, type a word and try to make it not a swear word of how you feel about leaving that money on the table. That's money you did not take home to your family, that triple number. Think of a word, type it in the chat box. I'm going to stop sharing my screen real quick because I want to see what you guys are typing in the chat box. Poop, bummer, aye, frustrated, yikes, heck, ouch, dope, sad, damn. Ah, there's a word. All right, robbed, like freaking A, like, come on. Okay, so I'm just going to be real with you because that's what playing the numbers game does to you. That's money you didn't get. As a matter of fact, insult to injury for me was realizing that for every no I got, or every yes I got, I was spoon feeding my competitors at a rate of 3 to 1. Because if they don't say yes to me, they go join the competition and they do business with your competitor, not you. Okay, and that's crazy, especially when you understand network marketing and a leverage compensation plan. Right? You got your little emoticon up, James. I see it on the screen, the little like freak out guy. Yeah. So why I'm passionate about bank, you're like, man, why is Cheri Tree so crazy about bank? Because this whole program is designed to bring that money home to you, to your bank. That's what I mean when I call it bank. When I say crack the personality code and take it to the bank, I'm talking about you guys taking that money home to your bank. Raise your hand. I'm looking at the screen right now. Put a thumbs up reaction button if you would love to start taking that money home to your bank, to your family, to building your legacy, right? And all of you guys are like, yeah, I'm in. That's what the bank program does, okay? And it doesn't just do it for you. It does it for every member on your team. The whole goal of what Danny, Katie, and I are working on at GPS with your senior leaders is how do we institutionalize bank to where it's literally part of your everyday system. When someone joins GPS, they get trained on bank. And now they start using bank in every single interaction, okay? We're gonna teach this to you. This is gonna be part of the pilot program. I'm gonna be showing you exactly what to do, how to pull it into your meetings, into your conversations, into your prospecting, into your training, into your full system, so that you literally institutionalize it to where everyone that joins GPS gets trained on bank. Type in the chat box, what do you think that would do to your business if everybody who joins gets trained on bank and everybody knows how to get a yes instead of a no? What would that do for your business? Okay, just type it in the chat box. Angela, you said 100x. Calvin, you said 300x. Aurora, you said we win. Rita, 10x. Leslie, 7x. Boom, the rocket ship. Increase, grow, quadruple, skyrocket. Big things, money, explode. All right, you guys get the point. Now imagine taking it away. Imagine having it be optional where some of you are like, yeah, we're not really going to do that bank thing. The reason that I institutionalized it into my downline was because I literally saw a night and day difference between those that were using it and not using it. I had people who had done network marketing for 10 years and never made $100,000 that joined my team, got trained on bank, and started to make $100 grand, $250,000, $500,000, and even $1 million of income in less than their first 12 months working with me. How is that even possible? We broke company records left and right. because our team was trained on B.A.N.K. That's when I just got this massive testimonial experience of, oh my gosh, this is not negotiable anymore. This isn't like a thing. This isn't like a super Saturday thing you go to. This is like, we gotta put this into the whole thing. All right. And that's again why Danny brought me in to speak, is not just, I'm not just a speaker who says, bye guys, nice to meet you. Go buy my book and I'll sign it one day. That's not what this is about. How many of you would love to have, and I know we're just getting to know each other, how many of you would love to have me on the corporate team in the sense of being able to train you and optimize you in a way that turns your team into absolute producing rock stars? How many of you would love that support at the corporate level for you guys as field leaders? Thumbs up. Okay, thumbs up. All right, this is what becomes possible, right? If we turn this from a pilot program into a full-blown program for GPS. I want to help you guys. I become your best ally. All right. All right. So let me jump back in. I'm going to just come back to my screen here and we're going to keep going down the rabbit hole. All right. So B.A.N.K is designed to help you get 300% more yeses by knowing how to speak to each person. If you saw me come speak at conference, I used an example. Imagine each of the 4 personality types being so different, it's like they speak a different language, right? So if that blue block speaks English and you go speak to someone who speaks English, that's easy to get a yes, right? And the yeses that you're getting, there you go. But what about when you speak to that different person? They're not like the blue block. They don't speak English. They speak French, or they speak Pidgin. Aloha, right? Shakara Kane. Okay, you got to learn how to speak a different language. If you do that, you've increased your influence 100%. You've increased your ability to get a yes by 100% because you can now speak to and successfully close and enroll 2 out of 2 instead of 1 out of 2. What about when you go meet that third personality type? You know, your guys' company is also in Japan. So you switch to Japanese and you say, Hajime mashite, dozo yoroshiku onegai shimasu. And all of a sudden the Japanese are like, what? How'd she do that? You don't look like you speak my language, but you totally speak my language. And now I'm 200% more influential because I can enroll 3 out of 3 instead of 1 out of 3. And what about when you meet that 4th personality type, the green block? Let's say that K stands for Korean. And you switch to Korean and you're like, Annyeonghaseyo, nanon hangul ma chokum pakimuteo. And the Korean person is like, how'd she do that? And all of a sudden, I'm 300% more influential. I'm still the same person, Cheri Tree. English is still my native language. And all I did was I learned how to communicate to others in their language too, or what I call their code. Okay. So 300% more influential because you can now enroll 4 out of 4 instead of 1 out of 4. And that's the power of B.A.N.K. So by the way, our science is proven specifically for network marketing. We went and had research teams do scientific studies for people in network marketing using B.A.N.K and not using B.A.N.K. So imagine Tommy's team says, we're going to use B.A.N.K, and Mark's team says, we're not going to use B.A.N.K. Okay. The team that used B.A.N.K sold 86% more products and enrolled 192% more people than the team that doesn't use B.A.N.K. So you guys as leaders, you first have to ask yourself, am I going to do the B.A.N.K system? And the second question is, are you going to have your team do the B.A.N.K system? These numbers are now scientifically validated. It's no longer just my opinion. Okay. So step 1, I shared with you the secret. Step 2, I just taught you the science. Step 3, I'm going to show you the system. And then step 4, I'm going to introduce you to the solution. And I'm going to show you all the cool tech and stuff that's going to help you make this way easy for you. All right. So the system is an acronym. You guys know this. Save yourself time, energy, and money. Like I wanted to make my life easier, not harder. So I systemized it. The B.A.N.K system, this is where I'm going to introduce you to the 4 personality types based in their buying behavior. Okay, the B stands for blueprint. I use the color blue because these people are colder to approach. They're a little bit more formal and conservative. They're what I would call inside the box. And you can see the little box on the left-hand side of the B, right? Well, what happened was I started to realize that they make buying decisions for totally different reasons than other people. And I started to document what the blueprints value is. They value things like stability, how long the company's been around, for example, structure, systems, planning, processes, predictability, responsibility, duty, rules, credentials, titles, tradition. You tell a person that they can come join GPS and earn commission only, no salary, no base, they're going to be like, heck no, heck no. A blueprint's going to run the other way. They say, I want a job, I need a guarantee. Okay, that's your blueprint type of personality type. So there's all types of reasons that make them say yes. There's also reasons that make them say no. We are going to teach you, for those of you that do the pilot program, what are the exact things you can say to a blueprint to unlock the yes, as opposed to just get the automatic no. Okay, we're going to teach that to you. The A stands for action. That's your red color, red hot like a firecracker. They act like they just drank Red Bull for breakfast. They want VIP red color carpet treatment. They're not inside the box like the blueprints. They're outside the box. Look at that little rocket ship right there. Okay. Well, that's because they have a completely different set of values. What makes this person say yes is a totally different conversation than what makes the blueprint say yes. An action personality type is going to say, I value freedom, flexibility, spontaneity, action, opportunity, excitement, attention, stimulation, competition, winning, having fun, and they care all about their image. Okay. Now, an action personality type says, what? GPS is a startup. We're in our first year. I'm in. This is a ground floor opportunity. The sky's the limit. And boom comes the action personality type. The challenge is most of the time the actions are married to the blueprints. Opposites attract and opposites attack. And we're going to teach you, like you might have the perfect person, they're ready to sign up. I literally signed someone up in my business. The action was on fire. And by the time she get home, the husband canceled the order and charged back on the credit card. Like, what happened? Your husband's a blueprint. Got it. I had to call him up and have a completely different conversation. And at the end of that conversation, he's like, all right, I'm comfortable for my wife to move forward. You can go ahead and sign her back up. We had to redo the order. So there's exactly reasons that are making someone join, and there's other reasons that are making them run the other way. The problem is every person is booby trapped. You don't know what to say to them to get a yes or a no, which is what makes the sales process so scary. Well, the good news is I know exactly what makes them say yes. I know exactly what makes them say no. And I'm going to teach it to you in the pilot program. We're going to work through exactly what to say to get the yes and avoid the no. Imagine if you could do that. I want you to type the word yes in the chat box if you would love to know exactly the personality type that you're talking to know it in less than 90 seconds, and then know exactly what to say so you get a yes instead of a no. Type yes in the chat box. No brainer, right? No brainer, because what's a no cost? A lot more than our program, right? Now the N stands for nurturing. I use the color yellow. I want you to think like warm like sunshine, sweet like honey, and they've got a heart of gold, heart of gold. They're neither inside or outside the box. They're the ones that want to recycle the box, okay? Well, let's look at their values. They're going to join for totally different reasons, and money isn't one of them. So if the action personality type is like, how much money can we make? The nurturer is like, that's exactly what turns me off in the first place. They value things like relationships, authenticity, personal growth, significance, teamwork, involvement, community, charity, ethics, harmony, morality, and contribution. This person cares more about making a difference than they do about making a dollar. Guys, part of my sales territory in the past in network marketing was the islands of Hawaii. I lived over there. My dad was born there. My parents met there. We were stationed there as a military family. I went back there and bought a home there. I love Hawaii. My son is a Hawaiian named Kai Keanu. And I did a bank training over in Hawaii for my team. And I broke everybody up into 4 corners of the room. If you're a blueprint, go here. If you're an action, go here. If you're a nurturing, go here. If you're a knowledge, go there. 75% of the room went to the nurturing corner. All of that Hawaiian, that aloha love, which makes Hawaiians the most beautiful people I've ever met in my lifetime. They're so filled with nurturing and kindness and love. I absolutely love those people. It's a perfect example to show you the difference in people. The challenge is when most of them are running a business, they're running the type of business that starts with the word non before the word profit. Nonprofit, meaning that they're amazing people who are not making money. And I wanted to help good people make money because good people do good things with money. So what we needed to teach the nurturers was, number one, it's okay to make money. And sales isn't a bad thing. Sales is about influencing people to change their lives for the better. And we taught them exactly what to do. And we started to have people make more money than they'd ever made before, which is an amazing feeling when you're the leader of that group. Okay, so that's an example of there's different things that work for different people. The fourth part of bank is the K that stands for knowledge. And I use the color green because this person loves a lot of data. Think like Microsoft Excel spreadsheet, or in the movie The Matrix, if you ever saw that, right, with Keanu Reeves, the code that falls across the screen is green. They love data. And the box analogy is they're the ones that engineer the box. So when you look at their values, they value things like learning, intelligence, logic, self-mastery, technology, research and development, science, universal truths, expertise, competence, accuracy, and the big picture. This person doesn't care about what your stories are and how this changed other people's lives. They want the facts. They want the data. They want the science. So we're going to teach you, what do you say to them to unlock the yes and avoid the no? The challenging thing of all four types, these are the most difficult people to close the sale on. Why? Because you actually can't close a K. They have to close themselves. That's why so many of them get stuck in analysis paralysis and ask so many questions, because they don't have enough data to make the decision. Friends, we're going to teach you exactly what to say and how to handle each one of these four personality types in a way that unlocks the yes every single time. Okay. So when you summarize the bank codes, and this is going to finish out this part of the system, then we're going to get to the solution, which is the part where you make money. Okay. Keep in mind that every person that you're talking to about GPS, they're not just part blueprint, part action, or all nurturing or all knowledge. I mean, they're actually all four. And that's what makes up their bank code. Okay. Think of a bank code like a PIN code. I love that analogy. If you were to take out your debit card and go put it into the ATM machine, it's going to ask you for a 4-digit PIN code if you want money to come out. Well, your clients, the people that you're trying to introduce GPS to, are the exact same way, except they have a 4-digit bank code. And if you speak to them in their bank code, a yes is going to come out, and usually the money follows. If you don't, a no is going to come out and the money disappears. Okay. So when I was looking at this myself, remember, I built this for me, not for you. I had to solve the next riddle, which is, what is my client's bank code? What's their bank code? And by the way, how many bank codes are there? So I did the math and I found out that there's 24 different codes. If every person is all four parts, but in any different sequence, this shows you here on the screen that there's 24 different sequences. So there's 24 different bank codes. Mathematically, what that means is you have a 1 in 24 chance. When you talk to someone about GPS, you only have roughly a 4% chance to get a yes. That's why it's so frustrating and defeating. That's why so many people quit before they ever make it big, is because unfortunately they went for no and got the no, instead of figured out the science of how to get a yes. So what I built to solve my problems was I wanted a way that I could crack my prospect's code and unlock the yes and do it in less than 90 seconds. There's only one way to do it, friends. You have to know their bank code. So if you saw me speak at the conference, I'm going to show you the first way that I was able to crack their code. And that was by inventing a little set of 4 cards. Okay, 4 cards. And you can see it if you're seeing me here on the screen. I'm holding them up on the screen. Okay, these 4 cards were the bank code cards, and I would hand them to my customer, my future customer, and I'd ask them to take a look at these 4 cards and sort them in order. And I told them that I wanted them to prioritize them based on what's most important to least important. And I told them that this was going to help me serve you better and save us both some time. And do you know, and I'm going to stop sharing my screen for a moment. Do you know that every single time I asked my client to do it, because I didn't even know if they would do it. I didn't know if they'd think I was crazy and throw the cards away. Every single time I asked them, they did the exercise 100% of the time. No one ever didn't do it. And I thought, wow, this is impressive. Like I never do anything 100% of the time. And yet this example, it was working 100% of the time. And I'm going to explain to you why. There's 3 reasons why someone will crack their code. Reason number 1 is curiosity. They want to know more. Reason number 2 is the topic on the cards is about them, not you. And them is their favorite subject. Reason number 3 was because I spoke all 4 codes to them and simply asking them. And I showed you this in Vegas, and I'm going to show you it again right now in slow motion. When I talk to the person and say, I want you to crack your code, I want you to do this exercise for me. Take a look at these cards. I'm talking to the knowledge personality type who wants the information, and they're reading these cards and they're analyzing these words. And then I said, I want you to sort them in order, top to bottom, most like you to least like you. I'm now talking to the blueprint part of them that wants the rules, the processes, the instructions. I then said, this is going to help me serve you better or get to know you better. I'm talking to the nurturing part of them that wants a connection with me, the other human being in the room. And I end it with, and save us both some time, because I'm now talking to the impatient action personality type who's like, hurry up, chop, chop, get to the bottom line. How are we going to get rich? And all 4 parts, I was able to hit all 4 parts in one single conversation and one single request of this exercise. And so the client does it every single time. So in Las Vegas, we gave you a chance to get these cards, and most of you got these cards. And every single time you go meet with a human, you want to bring these with you. You always want to carry your bank cards at all times, 100% of the time. Wherever you go, I have them in my pocket, in my wallet, in my suit coat, in my bag, in my car. Everywhere I go, I have these cards, okay? And once we exit out of the pilot program, we can customize these cards with the GPS logo. Put a thumbs up if you guys would love a set of cards with the GPS on it, right? Where these are now the GPS bank cards. All right. So use these cards, and I'm going to teach you how to use these cards. But this, guys, was like more than a decade ago. Times have changed, and this is where it's going to start to get exciting. And James, I see your cards there, right there on the screen. Great job, my friend. Times changed, and what started happening is people started to not meet in person anymore. And this was before COVID. People started holding Skype sessions back in the day before Zoom, and they wouldn't be face to face, and they could no longer hand the person these cards. And so they started holding them up on their computer screen and saying, all right, tell me when you're done looking at this one, Danny. And then they'd hold up the next one and they'd say, well, tell me when you're done looking at this one, Danny. And all of a sudden we got an idea as a company, and we said, guys, what if we actually could turn this from a product into a technology, from plastic into technology? And all of a sudden this gave birth to B.A.N.K in a technology form, and thus the name of our company, Codebreaker Technologies. So we built a technology where we can actually do this virtually, and you will be able to crack someone's code and know what their bank code is anywhere in the world, okay? I want you to type yes in the chat box if you would love to use a technology where you can crack someone's code and know what their personality type is and exactly what to say to them 100% of the time, anywhere in the world, 24/7, 365. Type yes into the chat box. You're like, this is a no-brainer, right? By the way, Denise, I see your hand up. I'm going to take your question at the end. Okay, so just know I haven't forgotten you. I'm going to come back to you. Okay. So guys, this is where I'm going to take it. I'm going to show you stuff I did not show you in Vegas. And that's why I said I need 90 minutes for today, because I'm going to show you stuff that blows your mind away. All right. So let me go back to sharing my screen. And now I'm going to show you some of the good stuff. All right. So what we wanted to do is we wanted to build a solution for our clients who are now no longer just me. It's not just Cheri Tree using B.A.N.K. It's tens of thousands of people all over the world using B.A.N.K. Okay. We have thousands of customers that sign up every single month for B.A.N.K. That's why this is a hot product, right, that GPS is looking at. And I'm going to show you the technology. The first technology that we built is something called Bankpass. And just take in what you're seeing on the screen. Bankpass became our digital way of cracking someone's code electronically, where we no longer needed to be face-to-face with the cards. Now, I still use the cards all the time when I'm in person. These cards are like the most fun icebreaker you'll ever do at a live event. But you also want to do it electronically, and I'll explain why. With Bankpass, it's a lead generation technology, because you can not only crack the code of your friends and family, you can crack the code of people on social media that you've never met before. You can actually use this and post your link, and you can go invite someone to go crack their code. Every one of you is going to get assigned your own bank code, your own link, okay? And Dahlia, if you'll post this link into the chat box, we're going to allow everybody to sample what it's like to crack a code, and you can go do this your own self, okay? So you're going to have your own custom unique link that's only yours. You're going to share that link with anyone that you want, your friends, your family, your downline team members, and people you've never met before. We'll have people who go post this in a targeted group on Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn, for example, and they'll generate 20, 30, 40, 50 leads in an hour doing it. Imagine that. But here's what's cool. The person who cracks their code with your link, they're going to see these 4 digital cards on their screen. They're going to drag and drop them on their desktop or on their mobile device. Once they do that and click submit, what happens next is the cool part. They are automatically going to get sent a bank code report all about them. What's cool about this is it's so accurate because it's based in science. It took the person doing the exercise less than 90 seconds, just like the cards in real life. Less than 90 seconds, and boom, they get a detailed report all about them on exactly what makes them tick. We're going to reveal things about themselves that they didn't even know about themselves that's suddenly going to make sense to them and blow them away. And the best part is, they get to do it totally for free. This report is normally a $99 assessment, takes them less than 90 seconds, and they get to do it for free because they're using your link. Now, what do you get for it? Well, because this is a subscription model, you're paying for this every single month. What you get out of it is the most important part of why we built it. You get the sales report. For every single person who cracks their code, imagine that you get an email that notifies you that says, hey, you just cracked the code of Danny Bay. Here's his name, phone number, email. And here's the top tips of how to communicate, negotiate, and close the sale. Good luck on your appointment with Danny, and take it to the bank. I want you to type bank in the chat box if you would love to be able to get a report that teaches you exactly what to say to get a yes with every single prospect from this point forward. Type yes into the chat box. Or type bank, whichever one. This is why my whole downline started to make money like crazy, because I taught them exactly what to say. Here's the bank code, and here's what to say every single time. Those are the 2 things you need to know. You need to crack the code, and you need to speak the code. Crack the code, speak the code. Crack the code, speak the code. And that's how you're going to get a yes, okay? And then, by the way, you're going to get your own online dashboard. Everyone who does the pilot program, you're going to get your own link, and you're going to get a dashboard where all of the people who crack their code are going to go into your dashboard, and you're going to be able to see every single lead you have, what their bank code is, and exactly how to engage them to get a yes instead of a no. And I'm going to give you a quick little tech tour in just a moment. Then after that, like, that was super cool, and we've cracked hundreds of thousands of people's codes. Okay, guys, this is such cool technology. Then on top of this, just before COVID, we launched the first ever artificial intelligence that could crack someone's code without them even engaging in the exercise in the first place. We developed an AI that is so smart that it actually knows your bank code faster than you know your own bank code. And this is what said, wow, Forbes wrote it up and said, Codebreaker AI is the future of sales. Guys, this AI got me invited to go speak at the United Nations AI for Good conference, because this AI is not just artificial intelligence, but it's infused with artificial empathy, meaning that because the AI understands bank, it means it understands humans and it has emotional intelligence built into the AI. It's the coolest AI in the world. And using this AI, we're going to teach you in the pilot program how to use it to close more sales in less time. What if someone doesn't want to crack their code? What if you sent them the link and they never responded? We're going to show you how to use the AI to know their code anyway, so that you can communicate to them the right way, okay? And I'm going to show you the AI interface that allows you to put anything into it. And the AI is going to determine what that bank code is and going to tell you exactly what to say to get a yes instead of a no. This is super cool, mind-busting stuff, including we built the LinkedIn Chrome extension, which is on LinkedIn. You can pull up any person's profile and actually click our button and have the AI spit out the code. So let me actually show you. Thumbs up on your screen if you guys think this is so dang cool and you want to use technology to help you build your business, okay? So this is still the people business, but this is the world's most advanced people personality typing system and technology to make it work. Roger, you said, is it legal? Of course, because it's analyzing public profile, everything that you put in the public. It's not analyzing anything that's top secret, that's private, or anything like that, okay? Now I'm going to show my screen, and I'm actually going to show you guys how it works in real time, okay? So the first thing that I'm going to pull up, let me get it right here, okay? When you guys do the pilot program, every single one of you is going to get your own link to be able to crack codes, okay? So here, you're going to have your site that's going to be tracked back to you. You get all the leads. The bank cards that you can see on here, we've translated them into 35 different languages. So if you have people in different countries, like if Danny Bay says, hey, I want to do this in Korea, no problem, click Korean, and there's the cards in Korean. If he says, well, wait, I want to do it in Japanese, no problem, they're also in Japanese. So you can see that we've done this in all the different languages, all right? So here, the person's going to be instructed to simply just sort the cards in order. So for my bank code, for example, I put action first, nurturing second, knowledge third, and it automatically puts my blueprint last. If I feel like changing my mind, you just switch them like this, okay? It's very simple. If you can't read them, you can zoom in on them. And then all you do is simply fill in the information. Now the privacy policy says, we're going to keep your information confidential and we're going to share it with the person whose link you're using and us. And in exchange for that, we're going to give you a $99 report that you don't have to pay for. So they simply fill in their information right here, name, phone number, email, and that's what they're willing to share with you. That's why you capture it. Then they click crack my code, okay? Now you can see we've cracked 210,000 codes. This literally tracks it in real time. And there's testimonials on the site from people who use it, okay? Now what happens when someone does that? Each one of you that does the pilot program, we're gonna set you up with an account on our system. You're gonna log into your portal and we're gonna give you a login access. And you can log in and you can literally see right here, this pie chart that shows you exactly how many people have cracked their code with your link. For me, I've had 2,221 people use my link to crack their code. Those are my friends that I show the bank system to. So I can click on this box right here to say, show me my leads. And this is now going to show me all of my leads and everyone who's opted in. Imagine having a database of your entire team, your downline, all your prospects, knowing what their bank codes are. And you can click on leads and it's going to pull up the record of every single person in the system. And by the way, you can pull up the report that shows you the sales report. If I want to look at their report and I want to know exactly how I should talk to them to get a yes instead of a no, I pull up this person's report. Let's say I'm getting ready to have lunch with them, or I'm going to do a Zoom call with them. Take 5 minutes to look at the report and to know exactly what's going to make this person want to say yes versus no. The report is going to highlight the most important things, including what to say, what not to say, so that you have the very best shot at getting a yes in your appointment, okay? So that's what you get with the Bankpass technology. The next piece of technology that I want to show you is Codebreaker AI. And this is super cool. Guys, we made this so easy to use. Let's pretend someone sends you an email and you're like, wow, I wonder what their bank code is just from the email. Well, no problem. I'm going to show you how this works. I'm going to go to your GPS website. I'm going to copy this piece of your website. I'll pretend this was an email from Danny Bay. I go back to my AI and I simply paste it in here. Now I can click the red button, decode, and the AI reads it, and that fast, it shows me that that piece of content was written in this bank code, KANB. Now that might not be the right code to talk to me in. I might say, actually, that one kind of turns me off. K is definitely not my first or even my second. So why it's so important to know this is if you're communicating with someone, it's a text message, it's a social media post, it's an email, a WhatsApp, whatever it is, you can put it into the AI. The AI will tell you what bank code it's written in, and then you can actually practice responding in code. For example, before I just send you back a text message or an email, I can practice here and I can say, hi, Danny. So excited to meet with you and help you change the world. Let's pretend that's what I want to say. I can decode my reply and it's going to say, that is the wrong message if this is Danny's code, because I wrote it in action nurturing. Now, it turns out that Danny's code happens to be action nurturing as his first two. So this would have been a perfect reply, and then it would have showed you a match. The other thing that we built was a LinkedIn Chrome extension. What does that mean? It means on your Chrome browser, you can go and install our extension right here called Codebreaker AI. You see this where I'm mousing over it? I have Danny Bay's profile pulled up here. Danny, you got to update it so it shows that you're with GPS. But I wanted to show you how this works with the amazing Danny. Let's say I'm going to have a phone call or a meeting with Danny Bay. This is a very important call. Getting a yes is so important versus a no. I want to have the best shot at it. So I come here and I see my AI button and I simply just click it. And that AI reads Danny Bay's entire profile and generates the bank code you can see posted right under his picture. And now it's going to guide me on exactly how to get the yes instead of the no. How does it guide me? I'll show you. Right here in our own interface, okay, with the AI, it does this on LinkedIn too. It'll outline what are Danny's values. It has a video here I can watch. I can see the top sales tips of how to engage Danny. I can see what are the behaviors. What should I expect from him if this were his code? I can look at the triggers of what turns him on and the tripwires of what turns him off. And I can also look at what are the top communication formulas so that I can be the most influential and effective when I'm communicating with Danny. So all of that is built into our AI interface for every single bank code. Again, on LinkedIn, it's as easy as pulling up someone's profile, clicking this decode button, and having the AI read the bank code and then guide you right here on exactly how to engage. On top of that, in the pilot program, guys, we're going to teach you how to use LinkedIn with our AI to go generate leads. So you actually have people to talk to about GPS. And we're going to teach you how to send the message, the right message, based on their bank code so that they even want to talk to you in the first place. That is how powerful, and that's how top network marketing leaders are using the AI to go recruit new people outside of their warm market by building relationships on LinkedIn using our AI. Okay. The last piece that I'll show you is inside the bank dashboard, you have access to the Bank Vault. The Bank Vault is our online learning library. All of our virtual digital classes and courses. We've invested millions of dollars in professional studios, filming and developing training to help you be able to succeed in business. Not only are we going to teach you the bank system, but we're going to teach you sales, networking, prospecting, marketing, how to go build your business, how to make a business plan, time management, recruiting, leadership, and everything that you need to know to be able to win successfully in network marketing. This is like the best of every Super Saturday and every training that you've ever done. And now you guys as leaders like Tommy and Mark and Stuart and all those guys, you actually can leverage your time and now have your people on your team studying the curriculum without using your real time doing it, so that you can use your real time to help mentor and grow the business as opposed to just simply delivering training. So this system does a lot of the heavy lifting, freeing up the time of the leaders to be able to do what they do best, which is to keep selling and keep recruiting, getting out of management mode. So let me stop sharing my screen. How many of you feel like you could get good enough to where you could literally install something on your computer, click a button to know a bank code, and follow some instructions on how to get a yes? Put a thumbs up on your screen if you're like, yeah, I can do that. Thumbs up. Okay. We're going to teach you how to do it in the pilot program, and we're going to make this so easy that it's like a no-brainer, right? I don't want to make anything more complicated. We just want to make it more easy. So let me share the last few pieces for those of you that are like, hey, I want to do this. What do you guys, what's the pilot program entail? What's it cost? What do I get? How does it work? And then I'll stay on a few extra minutes to make sure if you have questions, I'm going to answer them. I want to make sure that you, when you leave this, you're very clear on exactly what's happening. Okay, so let me just share the final few things. Les Brown, he got a hold of our system. He's like, this is the best system I've ever seen for anyone in sales and network marketing. Like, this is a game changer. Why? Because this system's going to expand your confidence. Whether you've ever succeeded in network marketing or not, this is going to make you more confident because you know exactly what to say to get a yes. And trust me, fear of rejection is going to go away. Number two, expand your selling skills. You could be brand new in network marketing, just getting started, or you could be Tommy and you could be the top guy in the organization, one of the top guys. It's going to make you better. We're actually here because Tommy said, I want to have GPS do this whole program. Okay. And dramatically increase your income is the byproduct of actually using it. And you guys can see for obvious reasons how to get a yes instead of a no. So what we've done in the pilot program is we've developed a very special program just for you in GPS and network marketing. And we want to improve your results in 4 areas. Revenue, meaning that you're closing more sales, making more money. Recruiting, meaning that you're recruiting more people to your team and expanding. Rank, you're getting advanced to influencer 5,000, 10,000, 25,000. And retention, meaning that you're keeping your people intact in your organization. You're keeping people subscribed and purchasing product, and you're growing your customer base as opposed to losing them. So what we built is something called Codebreaker Accelerator. All right. This is a 4-session coaching program. I'm actually not going to do it back to back over 4 weeks. We're going to do it over the next 2 months. And we're going to do a deep dive in each one of these, but specifically through the lens of GPS. So when we do session 1 on revenue, how to get to yes faster and close more sales in less time, we're going to give you guys a playbook with the actual scripts for your products on what to say to a blueprint or an action or a nurturing or a knowledge to sell them a VRLU subscription, for example, to sell them the OLED glasses and phone. Okay. In the week of recruiting, the session that we do on recruiting, how to recruit more people easily and expand your winning team using the GPS business model and compensation plan. We're going to teach you exactly what do you say to a blueprint, an action, a nurturing, and a knowledge differently to recruit them to your GPS team. And that way you feel like you not only have the essence of bank, you actually have the exact formulas for GPS on what to say to that code about your own product and opportunity to get that yes. In session 3, we're going to talk about leadership. How do you actually lead the people on your organization? Because you're going to have blueprints that are part of your team. You're going to have actions on your team. You're going to have nurturing on your team. You're going to have knowledge people on your team. You need to lead them differently. What works for one does not work for the other. It's not a one size fits all. So we're going to teach you how to lead inside the rank system of GPS. And lastly, retention. How to make sure that we keep your customers growing so that you build a long-term residual income. The best part about network marketing is that it can pay you massive and passive income for years, decades, or generations at a time. And that's exactly the legacy that I know Danny wants to help you build for you and your future with GPS. So that's what the pilot program is going to take you into. What is this pilot program? This program is normally a $999 program. It's basically $1,000. When we got together with Danny and we said we want to do something special for the first group, we basically agreed that we would cut the price in half. We talked to you guys at the event. A lot of you signed up, but many of you sent us messages saying, hey, my team wasn't there and they want to do it too. And we said, okay, we were supposed to be starting today. And obviously we're not starting it today because we wanted to do one last chance to enroll any of you who missed it or your team members who missed it into the pilot program. So we're actually going to be starting coming up here in the next couple weeks. We're going to be starting your pilot program. And you're going to get all of the recordings for every session. If you miss it live, you'll get the recording and you're going to get the playbooks, the script books on exactly what to say to each of the 4 personality types so that you have that. Okay. So this program cut in half, we dropped the price by $500. So $499.95, $500 basically. And that is the event special. And afterwards spoke to Danny and Katie both and said, let's do it one more. Let's do one more round. Let's do this webinar and give the team and the field one more shot to enroll in this pilot program. Okay. So I'm going to give you guys the link. You can get it right here. Dahlia, who's assisting me, you can put that link into the chat box. It's gps.codebreakertech.com. And that's going to allow you to save $500. What will this program be in the future? It'll be full price. And again, at that point, we're looking at considering it to be potentially commissionable. All right. It's going to be based on the feedback from the pilot program. As a bonus, we're going to include our Kickstarter program. This is a $435 package that's going to kickstart you and kind of jumpstart you. We're going to give you 2 master classes, a master class for bank and sales and a master class for bank and relationships. How does bank impact your personal life, dating, parenting, marriage? You're going to get that class too. Why? Because every person in business has a private life and we want to help you guys have the best of both. Happy marriage, happy business. We're also going to give you our advanced bank assessment. And we're going to give you a digital copy of my book, Why They Buy. So every single one of you is going to get the book, Why They Buy. And that way you can read it. It's in the digital format. The other thing that we're going to do is, so everyone who signs up for the pilot program and does the $500 program, we're going to give you this package as a bonus for free. We're also going to give you an entire 30 days of our technology. Everything I just showed you, our Bankpass technology, our Codebreaker AI, our bank vault with all of our online courses. There's more than $10,000 of courses inside of there. This is a $99 a month subscription when you do the top level subscription. We're going to give you that top level subscription for free for 30 days. After 30 days, what happens is you have a $99 subscription, okay? And you can continue using Bankpass, cracking codes, generating leads, using the AI and accessing the bank vault. What if you want to cancel or downgrade to a different package? Then you simply cancel or downgrade, all right? 92% of our customers worldwide choose the $99 program and they stay on that program. Why? Because the other question you have to ask is, how many sales do you have to close to make your money back on this product so that it's totally free? Just a few, okay? Sometimes just one. You go sell one of the glasses, you're going to make your money back, right? So if you, and here we create an option for those of you that say, hey, $500 is out of my league, I just can't do it, then we're going to allow you to purchase the Kickstarter program that we're throwing into a bonus. You can purchase it separately for $49.95 and still get 1 month of all of our technology. And then after that, it goes to the $99 a month program, okay? This is the QR code. So right now, what I want you to do is take out your mobile device, take out your phone, and just scan this QR code right onto your phone so that it pops open the page that has this exclusive offer, okay? And we are going to honor this price. We're going to honor it for the next few days so that you have a chance to sign up. And if you have anyone on your team that's missing, they'll have a chance to get this too, Okay. Did everybody get it? You scanned it? Okay. So I'm going to stop sharing my screen. We're exactly at the 90-minute mark, and I want to be able to open it up for questions. Okay. So if you want to raise your hand and you want to come out here and ask some questions, let me help you. I'll answer your questions. I want to make sure that you guys fully understand. If you're part of the pilot program, you will be part of the first group of people in GPS that we're taking through this entire training, sharing the bank system with you, helping you learn how to use it, how to close sales from it, how to generate leads, how to recruit people from it. And what GPS is looking for is the success story that they can now feature at your event in March at your global conference as the success story of using Bank. And here's what happened. I'll share with you one success story as an example. I spoke at a network marketing conference. I met a lady named Julie. She had never recruited. She'd been in network marketing with the company 12 months, never recruited one person, zero. She really wanted to succeed and believed in her company. She bought the bank system just like this. And 30 days later, she had recruited 30 people in 30 days. So prior to that, she recruited 0 people. And in 30 days after Bank, she recruited 30 people. What's the difference? She knew exactly what to say to each person to get the yes and make it easier than it's ever been before. At the end of the day, that's what I want to be able to do. So if you have questions or comments, you want to come out here and share, I'm going to stay on. You guys are welcome to stay on with me. I want to help answer those questions and help you guys have a really great first start to this, because we're looking forward to training your group and helping you guys win from this. So Len, I see your hand up. You can go ahead and unmute and come on out here. And then I don't remember where the other person went. Your hand is down now, but you can raise your hand and I'll take your question. So Len, come on out. Are you able to unmute yourself, Len? Or you can type it, I suppose. Do you guys want to come
okay.
out?
Can you hear
There
me?
you go. Yeah, I can
Okay.
hear you now. Hi.
Hi. Yeah, well, I'm on my phone, so I couldn't get the code, the QR code.
Yeah.
Yeah, but because I'm on my phone, I don't
Yeah,
know how
that's
to do
okay.
that.
That's okay.
Oh.
So do you know how to open up the chat box on your phone on Zoom?
Yeah, sometimes.
I know it's a little bit tricky, but down
Yeah.
at the bottom, if you click maybe under more or something, it's going to let you open up the chat box.
Right.
And
Okay.
in there is the link. You'll see a
Yeah.
blue link. And Dahlia, if you'll post it again so that it's at the bottom, just click on that link and that'll open up your browser page, which will take you to gps.codebreakertech.com. And that's the private page we set up just for your company.
Oh, okay. Very good.
Okay, and that's where you'll get the $500 discount right there.
Oh, all right.
Perfect. Thank you, Lynn. Great
Perfect.
question.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Who else has a question? I want, guys, this is your chance. Come out here and talk to me. Any questions, any concerns, any challenges, whatever it is. I don't care what it is. I want to be able to help you through it right now. Okay, is it Vangelia?
I have a question.
Wait, hold on. Let me call you. Vangelia, come on out. If you'll raise your hand, whoever that was, raise your hand and then I can call you next.
Yeah, hi. It's Vangelia, Vangie for short.
Hi, Vangie.
When's the new date then for the start for the Codebreaker?
Thank you. Dahlia, do you have the dates in front of you of when our next call is?
Yeah,
First
so
call
the
that kicks off?
yes, can you hear me?
Yep.
So the next session was scheduled for November 9th, then the 23rd, December 7th, and December 14th. So how did you want to do that?
Yeah, actually, so we're going to do 4 sessions, one on revenue, recruiting, rank, and retention. So we're going to start November 9th and it ends December 14th. And again, we're going to record each of those sessions so that if for whatever reason you miss it, you're going to get access to the recording. We're going to do it on these days, on Tuesdays at this time, 6 p.m. time Pacific. And that way you guys, hopefully those of you that are here made the time work. We're going to give you that schedule. It's listed on the website as well. When you go to the website, it shows you exactly what the dates are and the time. And then you'll also be getting the emails with the private Zoom links, etc. for it. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Vangie. Julia, come on out. Are you able to unmute yourself, Julia?
Yes. Hey,
Hi.
how are you?
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Hey, awesome. I like your training.
Thank you.
So I'm a first timer of GPS, and I'm just beginning. And I just have a question. So I've been struggling on getting like customers to like actually believe in like what is like I'm showing it. I show them like 3-minute videos and stuff like that. Like my coaches been teaching me and stuff like that, and it's like to believe. Like that's my biggest problem. Is like let them to believe in the video or believe in what I'm giving to them.
Yeah. Okay. So great job. First of all, congratulations on joining network marketing and choosing
Thank you.
GPS. That's the best decision to start with. Secondly, have you been doing pretty much the same thing with every person that you're talking to?
Yes. And my coach said, be yourself. So I was like, okay, I'm going to be myself. So,
Yes,
and
and that strategy works, Julia. That strategy works, but the unfortunate part is that's the hard way of doing it. What I'm going to show you is you can still be yourself, but how do you adjust so that you can actually match the person that you're talking to and give them the information that they actually need to hear so that they can move to yes instead of no. And that's the most important thing. It's a small little shift that I'm going to show you, but it's a very important shift. Because if you don't do that, then you'll keep playing the same numbers game, which is getting more no's than yeses.
yes, ma'am. I get them. They say yes to watch the videos, but they don't say like, they like, is it true or not?
Yeah, that's okay. And you know what? There's a learning curve with network marketing. Okay. This doesn't turn someone into a millionaire overnight. But the cool thing is this is going to help shorten your learning curve and help you get to where you're making more money and recruiting more people in shorter periods of time. Okay. So the key to network marketing is not quitting and to continue to step forward, which is what you're doing. All right. This is going to just make your path easier. All right. Yeah. Cindy. So thank you, Julia. Cindy,
thank you.
You're welcome. Hi, Cindy.
Hello, how are you?
I'm good. How are you? Thank you.
Love the presentation. Great. Absolutely love it.
Thank you.
I'm new to network marketing, and I was wondering when you mentioned that with B.A.N.K, you could put it on LinkedIn. Could you also use Instagram, Facebook, or is it specific social media?
Yeah, the Chrome extension works only on LinkedIn, but the AI interface works in anything. You can take, so what you'll have to do is take the Instagram post or Facebook post, just copy it, paste it into the AI interface. You'll have a login to do that. And then just click the button and it'll read what that post is. And it'll show you what the AI says the bank code is. And then it will guide you on how to interact with that person so that you can lean towards the yes and avoid the no. Make sense?
Okay. Great.
And
yes.
we're gonna, in the
Thank
pilot
you.
program, we're gonna go through this in more detail so that you guys are actually like a workshop lab. You're doing this with us and everybody knows exactly what to do. Okay. So thank you. Thank you, Cindy.
Thank you.
Congratulations on joining. This should hopefully make it a lot easier for you.
Yeah,
Sharon.
Thank you.
Sharon, come on out.
Hi, how are you? Thank
I'm
you
good.
so much for an amazing training. I was at the convention, purchased the product there, then was on with Dahlia last week. She did an overview with us. 2 questions. One, first is, how do we get access to the book? Because I'm ready to dive in to that piece. And then the second, I want to talk about like time. So last week when we went through it with Dahlia, I just left feeling completely overwhelmed because it was like all of these different pieces. So as we go through the 4 weeks, oh, look at baby. Oh,
you guys want to see Kai real quick? This is my little baby. This is my beautiful wife.
Hello.
And this is my little baby Kai, our baby.
Hi.
Good night, Boo Bear.
Oh,
Yeah, he's so cute.
yeah.
I
So,
love you.
you were there and you saw that we're implementing new systems and things like that. So just roughly, like, just what do you think in terms of time? An hour a day, more, you may not even be able to answer it, but it just.
Yeah, that's okay. What
it's a lot.
I usually recommend is that someone take 15, 20, maybe max 30 minutes a day. It's just a little discipline. That people have an hour a day, that's going to feel like too much. Now, some people will binge watch the bank training and they'll absorb themselves. They'll start reading my book. They can't put it down until it's totally finished. And that's okay. You're going to have people who like supercharge themselves full of bank. But if you can just get into a daily habit of 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes, and especially if you knew, like, let's use this analogy. Let's pretend the appointment you're about to have has a pot of gold at the end of one of the directions of north, south, east, and west. What the bank code is going to tell you is where's the pot of gold and point you in that direction. Head that way, say these things. If you're like, I'm too busy for bank and I'm just going to charge north. Well, that's funny because the pot of gold was south. And you're going to waste your time on the appointment, time you don't have, to have a conversation with someone about an amazing opportunity, and you're saying totally the wrong things. You should have headed that way on the conversation instead of this way, right? And that's the analogy. Bank actually saves you time and makes you money because time is an illusion. By not doing it, you're actually going to struggle more than by actually using it. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
So hopefully that's a good analogy. And then again, what happens for most people is they'll dedicate a little bit of time and watch the little video modules, like in our masterclass. They're only 3 to 5 minutes each. Okay. And that way you can go through and maybe you only have time to watch 3 modules and then boom, you're off to work or whatever. But what they're finding is that the more they watch, the more they make, because they're getting better and better at cracking someone's code and knowing what to say to get that yes. And at that point, it becomes almost addictive, because why would you not do it anymore?
Exactly. And when I did my code, it was spot on.
Well, see, and if it's spot on for you, imagine if it's spot on for every customer and we know exactly where the pot of gold is every single time you open your mouth.
Yeah, this
That's
is
what
amazing.
the bank system does, is it's going to show you that. Okay?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Alverdia?
Alverdia.
Oh, I got it. Awesome. Alverdia.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you for taking the time to do this presentation. My daughter talked to me. She was at the convention. And so I signed up. I'm kind of excited to see the new stuff that's coming. And yeah. So anyway, I'm in my retirement. So I have other things going on, but I want to learn about the code. But if you do the $99, like each month,
Yeah.
is that part of the bank program?
Yes. Yeah, it's our subscription model. So we have a subscription model. The $99 is the one that pays for all of the technology, the bank vault training, etc. The pilot program is separate. Okay. But that would let you on an ongoing basis continue to use it, so that you can build your GPS business and you can use it in your personal life. If you're in a relationship, if you have grandchildren, another job, or you said you're retired, like this, the code works every single time you engage with another human, no matter what you're doing.
Okay. I can appreciate that.
The cool thing is too,
I can appreciate it, because I need a lot of different personalities out there.
well,
I'm not out there like that, but there's
a lot of them.
So
And
do the cards come with the 99 subscription?
no, the cards, because they require shipment, and this is for guy. Let me actually share my screen real quick. I'm going to show you, because one of you asked about the book too. When you purchase this package, you're going to get the digital book. And let me show you where the digital book is. And then if you're like, well, I want the physical book, I want to like touch it. Okay. I'm going to show you how to order that, because that's separate. I'm going to share my screen. And here inside, when you log into our system everyone's going to get the Kickstarter Pro, whether you buy this by itself for $49.95 and that's all you do, or you buy the whole pilot program accelerator for $500. You get this as a bonus. Right here where it says step 3, read why they buy, you're going to click on that, and that's going to pull up the book. If you click read the book, this is where it's going to pull it up, and here you go. Here's the book. Okay. And you can scroll down and you'll start to like read the book. But if you're like, well, and by the way, there's an action guide. There's an action guide that follows along with the book that actually has some assignments and things in there so that you're putting it into action. If you're like, well, I want to order a set of the cards, then you can click here and say, get a set of cards. And it's going to take you to the page where you can actually order the cards right here. Okay. They're $25 online. At the event, we did them $20 as a special. You can get one set of cards or multiple sets of cards. The ones in the middle with the icons are for children, which are super fun for them to do. You can crack the codes of children down to 3 and 4 years old, and that's important on your personal life.
Yes.
Or most people buy the 5-pack, and that way they have multiple sets. What a lot of leaders do is they buy these as gifts for their downline. So when a new member joins, they give these out as gifts. It's, you know, and then by the way, if you're like, well, what do you say? What's the script again? If you scroll down on this page, here's the script exactly written out for you. Hand the person the cards, ask them to take a look at it, sort them in order. It's going to help me serve you better, save us both some time. And I've color coded it to the code so that you actually know what part of the bank code you're talking to when you're doing it. Okay. And then for those of you that say, well, I want to order the physical book, click the physical book, and that's going to take you to our webpage where you can actually order the book. You can even order the book plus the cards and have it shipped to you. Okay. So that's where you do it. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you. And congratulations on joining your daughter. It's a big deal. It's so amazing to work with family, and I love it.
Okay. Well, I'm in it now. We're going to work it out.
Well, in it to win it. And by the way,
yes.
The package for those of you that are married, okay, the package, I'll let you share that with your partner, your significant other. All right. You don't need to each buy it. Just one of you buy it. And you have the same login though. And just know that every time you crack a code, you're cracking a code with your own same link. All those leads are going to go to the same thing. But this is like software, and every person needs to have their own subscription separately outside of you being in a relationship, husband-wife type relationship, or Alverdia, if you're with your daughter and you're doing it as one business position, you can share it if you want. Some people want their own subscriptions and they would just want to collect their own leads and build their own business. If you have separate positions in GPS, you should have your own separate subscription unless you're.
I'll talk with her about it and
decide what's best for
me.
Yeah, whatever's best for you.
Yeah, and her.
Yeah, and of course, and her.
Thank you, Cheri, so much.
You're welcome. Thank you, James. Coming up.
Hi, Cheri, hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Hi.
Thank you so much for coming on tonight and taking this time with us. We appreciate you and your family and taking time out. Hey, so, the question that comes to mind for me is, using this new technique, having been with GPS for over a year, people that I wasn't successful in launching the business and got no's from, would you recommend revisiting these former prospects and using this code, and how would you approach somebody that you've already visited on the subject?
Yeah, absolutely. This is called a win back program. So how do you win them back? If you already missed the shot, at this point, you got nothing to lose. So the best thing to do, and what we'll teach you to do, is to actually crack their code. And then when you do take that second shot, do it in a way that's actually communicating their code. And I can say, James, hey, listen, I know I was super fired up and I came at you hard, fast and furious, and I was so pumped up. But the truth is I did you a disservice. And I'm going to ask you for a second shot, and I'll explain why. But before I do, first do me a favor, and I want you to take a look at these 4 cards. Okay, and do this little exercise, a really fun icebreaker. And by the way, sometimes people are going to question you and they're going to say, why do you want me to do this? Maybe they're skeptical or whatever. And I'll tell them, I'll say, James, look, relationships are really important to me. And if you notice at the top of the card is the word values. If you're willing to share with me what's most important to you, then I can customize our conversation together based on what's most important to you instead of potentially wasting your time based on what's most important to me. And the mistake that I made last time is I told you everything that made me excited, and I didn't do you a service at all because I didn't take the time to actually know what was important to you. And I want to apologize for that. And I want a second shot. And the reason I want a second shot is because I believe that this could be something that could transform your life, or something that you're looking for, or I know you want to make more money, or I know you just got let go of your job because of the jab mandate, or whatever. And you can learn how to communicate to them based in their bank code. And if you do it effectively and you're humble, most people will give you a second shot. Okay, cool. Awesome. I'm going to show you guys how to do that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you. Okay, Kathy, you have a question. Come on out.
Hi, it's nice to see you again, Miss Cheri.
Thank you.
So, I'm one of those people, I kind of just stayed to listen to other people's questions because sometimes, your peers think of things that you don't. But actually, when you were responding to Miss Sharon, something kind of just like had an aha. So when you're talking about the time, what I really like about being able to use the AI is you can crack the code prior to meeting with the person, and that way you can be prepared. And like you mentioned, having 4 different presentations, so that way you crack the code, you can go into the meeting prepared with 4 different types of visuals and different things that speaks to that person. So I just wanted to put that out there. So I'm definitely planning on going full out, and I really appreciate you for all of this.
You're welcome, Kathy. Being prepared is so important, because sometimes you only get one shot with a person. That's it. It's like if I'm going to get one shot, I'd like to nail the bullseye. So where's the bullseye? Where's the pot of gold in this? This sometimes determines what time I'm going to show up to the appointment, even if it's virtual. It's going to determine what I wear to the appointment, what I bring to the appointment. Like, those things matter, and they do change based on codes, right? You show up too snazzy and too cool, like action style, to someone who's nurturing, they're going to think you just want their money. You show up kind of too nurturing to an action person, they're going to be like, you're not that cool. You're not cool enough for me to work with. I've literally heard people say the reason they didn't buy was based on the shoes you wore to the appointment, the car you drove, the clothes you wore. Like, that might seem shallow, but there's certain codes that are turned on by things and turned off by things. And we all have it. The other cool thing that Bank did for me as a human is it made me less judgmental, where I might be more judgmental prior to the Bank system. Maybe if you didn't wear that or you didn't do that, maybe I didn't even want you on my team. I had people in the past tell me I wasn't approachable. That hurt my heart, because the truth is I'm nurturing second. I actually care a lot about people. But what Bank did for me is it made me a better human being. It made me less judgmental. It made me fall more in love with people and the diversity of people, all the different types of people. And instead of certain codes being more annoying to me in the past, I actually find that I love them and they're endearing to me because they're that way. And, it made me more emotionally intelligent. And that's going to be one of the byproducts. What if Bank never makes you more money? What if Bank never helps you close a sale or never helps you recruit another person? What if the only thing Bank did was make you a better human being? I've had people take this course and come out of it and say, you just saved my marriage. And in the beginning, I was like, how'd I do that? Like, I'm trying to show you how to close the sale. And then I had people say, this just made me a better parent. Then I had a family from Hawaii that says, this just prevented suicide with our teenage son. I was blown away. I'm like, what are you talking about? And they started to tell me about the personality dynamics in the family. And they told me what the personality type was of the son who attempted suicide. And I started realizing that this bank system isn't about closing more sales and making more money. This bank system is about understanding human beings and how to connect with a human being, understanding what's important to that human being, what's not important to that human being, and how to build an authentic, respectable relationship with that human being. And if you can do that and you're doing it in the lens of business and GPS, you're going to be far more effective. If you're doing it in life, I have people who are single and dating saying, hey, should I crack the code of the person I'm going to go on the date with? Yes. We have people using our AI on dating matching sites. Like, once you understand the code, you'll never want to live without the code, and every human has a code. So this is going to give you eyes to see humans in a completely different perspective from now on. So, any other questions? Any objections? Like, I'd love it if anyone has an objection of like why you wouldn't want to do it, or if money is an objection, like let's overcome that together, because what I don't want you to do is miss out on this opportunity to join the pilot program and then kick yourself and say shoulda, coulda, woulda, as you see the price change and the opportunity change. This is that one opportunity to get in the pilot program phase of the company. Okay.
Cheri?
Yes.
Vangelia asked, well, she commented, we should have a GPS overview designed to the 4 different values. Can you talk about the playbooks that are going to be part of the accelerator?
Yeah, and that's actually what we're going to work on with the company. What our partnership is designed for is to help the company literally create the bankification. You guys have heard of gamification. We're going to create the bankification of your entire company. We're going to start with building the playbooks so that you actually know how to sell your products to all the codes. Then what we do when we partner with the company, right? When we go out of pilot phase into a full partnership with the company, is we actually help to bankify the whole thing, your websites, your emails. We bankify sales funnel campaigns, all of it, so that you actually learn how to speak the code of the person that you're talking to and how to have your supporting materials help you with that. So that's going to be, it's a long project. It's like a DNA strand that we're going to weave together and help to create that, that to be part of the universe of GPS. But that's why it's so important that we get a really good sample size group of you trained on it so that we can actually see the performance difference of those that are bank trained versus not bank trained. And that's why we wanted to do this pilot program, so that we would create the first wave of those of you that are trained, and then let's look at your results. What I don't want you to do is sign up for our program and do nothing. That's not good. That's not good for you or for us. So commit to doing it, and then let's actually put it into motion and help you apply it. And that's where you're going to see the results of bank. Okay. Thank you for that question. That was a good question. Is the $499 due all at once, or is a payment plan available? Cindy, it's an upfront all at once thing. If you need us to break it into payments, I'm sure our team will help do that if needed, and just contact support at Codebreaker Tech. What I'd recommend at that point is go ahead and purchase the Kickstarter program for $49.95, and then reach out to our company and say you want to upgrade, and let us help to upgrade, but that way you already have an account that's set up. And I come from the philosophy of like, I'd rather my team do something than do nothing. If you can afford it, I would do the $499 program hands down every time, because I know what I know. And I'll share with you, let me just pull up that webpage real quick so I can show you guys right on my screen what it looks like. When you go to that link, the GPS private link, you're going to come here and you're going to see this page, and you're going to see 2 offers. The left-hand side is for the $49.95. If you're doing it on a mobile device, that's what you'll see first. And all the things that are included with it. It's like a $435 package that you get for $49.95. On the right-hand side is where you have the Codebreaker Accelerator program, where you're going to get all the scripts and playbooks and all that type of stuff. That's where you're going to get me personally coaching you and mentoring you. I charge $1,000 an hour when people hire me for coaching. You're going to get me for 4 90-minute sessions on top of tonight, taking you through this, answering your questions, helping you know how to implement. And you're going to get that $49.95 package thrown in as a bonus, which also includes, and it already expired, but I'm going to extend it for you. So we kept this website live. It includes all of this technology for 30 days at no additional cost. After that, it's simply $99 a month unless you downgrade to one of our lower packages. We have a $29 and a $59 a month one, or you cancel, okay? And so that's where you're going to go to sign up for it, and just choose the one that's best for you. What's interesting, and I'll tell you guys the numbers that's interesting is based in your community. 90% of those of you that have signed up for the $500 package, and only 10% of you bought the smaller package. And that's actually huge. What that shows is that people are really committed in GPS to win, and you guys have enough profitability in your compensation plan to make it worth it. Let's help you go sell enough packages to recoup this money. 2, your investment should be tax deductible. It's before the end of the year. You can take the write-off for your 2021 income. This whole thing, our subscription, all of it should be tax deductible. Make sure you talk to your CPA. This should be a business expense. Okay. And that way it almost pays for itself already. Okay. Dr. Ray, I see you have your hand up, and then I'm going to start to wrap. We're 2 hours in.
Yes, Cheri, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Let me just put my camera on here. Is it on? Okay. Maybe it's not.
It's not on, but there you are. You're in the dark.
Okay.
Oh, there you
All
are. Now I
thank
see you.
Hi, how are you?
Oh, I love your hair.
Thank you. I just wanted to ask, with regards to the Chrome extension and the AR works, is that part of the subscription that comes each month?
Yes.
So if you don't have a subscription, then you don't have that access.
Correct. You'll have it for 30 days. And then if you cancel your subscription, that access goes away. So the way that it works, our $29 a month plan pays for the Bankpass, which is the digital version of this. And you can actually crack unlimited codes for that. Most companies charge per assessment. We give you an unlimited amount for $29 a month. Okay. So you can generate 100 leads or 1,000 leads in a month. Doesn't matter. Same $29. At $59 a month, what's included is the AI. Okay, so Codebreaker AI and the Chrome extension and the Bankpass are part of our $59 a month package. The $99 a month one unlocks the Bank Vault, which is all of our courses. Okay, so the repetition, all of our videos, our workbooks, our playbooks, all that stuff is part of the $99.
This is my sample product for my people. A smoothie.
All right, so I think you heard me, and that's what's included in that subscription. Plus we do some new training that you get access to every month in your $99 a month subscription.
I like that.
We're getting some feedback.
Yeah,
Katie, I see you. I don't know if I see you on camera because we want to wrap. You're on the East Coast. It's 11 o'clock at night, girl. Sorry we went so late, but
no, it was wonderful. Thank you so much for giving so much of yourself to help us in what we're doing here at GPS. It's super exciting. And I just a quick story. When I first met Cheri via Zoom, she used the extension to crack my code, and I didn't know she was doing it. And then she sent it to me afterwards, and I was blown away because it was so spot on my personality. And that was in an initial, business call where sure you're yourself and your personality, but you're also, holding back a little bit, and it totally nailed me. I was blown away. So I was hooked, and I bought in from that moment forward. So thank you all for being here. And Cheri, thank you so much.
Katie, let me just mention that one thing. You're like, how did I do that in a conversation? Guys, our company, Codebreaker Technologies, has partnered with Zoom. And every Zoom call that we do has our AI built in, where the entire conversation is running through the AI. At the end, it sends you a report on what the bank code is of every person that had a conversation with you on your Zoom and how to follow up with them. That's a separate subscription because it's a Zoom subscription. We don't even collect the revenue on that, but they integrated our AI into it. They license it from us. They pay us money. every single time someone subscribes to Zoom AI. And guess what? We set GPS up with that AI version of Zoom. And so we're going to be doing a launch of that for everyone in the pilot program. We're going to be showing you what that Zoom is and how to have access to it. And that way, every conversation that you have on Zoom can now have the AI as like your sales partner in the background, helping you know how to follow up with the person to get a yes instead of a no.
And Cheri, we did put that link to that Zoom information on our back office. So that is in your back office. If you log in under influencer tools, you can access that. And it's the craziest thing. You'll never want to do a Zoom without it again. It's so cool.
It's so cool. And we'll show you guys, those of you that are in the pilot program, we're going to take you through it. We're going to help you know how to subscribe. We're going to show you how to use it, all of it. Cool. Well, Katie, you know, it's late. We're a couple hours into this, but just, I wanted to say thank you to you for organizing this and saying, hey, you know, like, guys, put your comments in the chat real quick. Like literally on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you that GPS is pulling this in? And be real. I'll tell you, there are some network marketing companies and cultures where they are absolutely like no outside training allowed, no outside technology allowed. And I always think those companies are the biggest fools, because what they're basically saying is that there's no one else in the world who can help our people other than ourselves. And that's just not true. God gave people talents, and you have access to some of the most amazing human beings. And so I was so impressed with Katie and Danny for saying, hey, we're open to meeting experts on the outside who can help us on the inside build a much better, stronger community with more people who are making more money, who are helping more people, who are rank advancing faster, and who are helping us change the world. And that's your leadership at your company. That's why we're all in with GPS. So Katie, I just want to say thanks for hosting this, and thanks for inviting us to come play with you guys.
Thank you so much. Thank you all for joining us tonight.
Have a good night, everyone.
Have a good night.
Looking forward to seeing you on our next call, and take it to the bank. Bye-bye.